G'day guys, One Man Clan. I'm driving and time for a driving and chat with the old One Man Clan. And how you all doing? Hope you're doing great. Shall I get straight into it? Let's get straight into it. And the first thing is the return of the syringe. The return of the syringe. What happened to the syringe? Well, there was a bug, and the bug was, I don't know, it was a weird bug, something to do with falling down in certain places, and there was like a jittery thing, and you'd get stuck, and there was some other, to be honest with you, I really don't remember. It was complicated. I put it aside, and then I got busy with something else. I disabled it, and what happened was I returned to the scene of the crime, and unfortunately the code was unrecognizable. It was weird. It's so important to keep notes, man. I mean, yeah, and this is like maybe a personal flaw, if I can get personal for a second here. I'm a little bit of a procrastinator. I sort of do something and I get like 90% done, and then I get bogged down in the complexity, and it reaches a point where I can't handle any more complexity, and I get confused, and I think I'm going to put it aside for now. And then by the time I come back to it, or should come back to it, or consider coming back to it at some future date, I look at it, and because time has passed, now I don't remember. I have to like relearn what I did. Does that make sense? So anyway, I look back at the old syringe code, and it was broken, man. It's like nothing was working. Nothing did what it should. The collapse part wasn't working well. For those that don't know what I'm talking about, probably switched off by now. Have you? That's all right. I'm talking about when you get syringed, a lot of things happen. There's, of course, the practical gameplay thing, which is you stop moving and then you start moving after a few seconds. But then there's the how does it look from other people's point of view. I want them to see you collapse. And then the other thing, which is to you yourself who just got syringed, to see yourself collapse, to have your view, to see your view from your point of view. I'm really into that. I remember, was it Half-Life? Many years ago, there's a scene in Half-Life, I think it's the first, yes, I think it's the first Half-Life. God, such a long time ago now. Where yes, it's the first Half-Life. You get attacked by you walk into some room. I remember now, yes, it's the scene with those invisible female villain. I don't like female tough guys in games. It's just, anyway, those semi-invisible female things. Remember? Semi-invisible female skinny attackers. And they always you kill them, and then you open in a room and these guys attack you, and they say, "Oh, we got him now." You hear them talking, and then they knock you, and then they're dragging your body, and they dump it into some compactor. I remember now. But anyway, it was a weird feeling. It was a unique feeling. It was a very exciting. Times, oh my God, look at that. I'm seeing the point of view of being dragged along, and it was great. And those of you that have played Half-Life will probably go, oh yeah, I remember that, and those that haven't are like, oh, I don't know what the hell he's talking about. Anyway, so I wanted to capture that feeling when you get syringed. Intersection, and anyway, it's fiddly, and cut a long story short, I went back and like none of it seemed to make sense. None of it was the collapse. It was kind of all there, but it was like there's bits that have been commented out, and I didn't know. Anyway, cut a long story short, it's working. I considered streaming it. Oh, by the way, just to conclude that topic, because I'm thinking of the timestamps now. So it'll be available this weekend in the game. Now, I considered streaming the coding. streaming me coding. And I don't know, people are into stuff, and I feel guilty because a lot of it's just me looking at this. I don't want to talk. I'm just looking at this thing coding. And there's another guy, Spuld, who on Twitch, he streams coding sometimes, and he doesn't talk much. And I always feel guilty asking him questions when he's coding every now and then. It's like, oh, are you doing this? Because when I'm coding, I don't talk. I don't have music. I don't have any distractions. I'm totally focused. So if I streamed, I would not be able to, I couldn't imagine anything more distracting than people. If some crazy person wanted to watch something, it would be a boring stream. I think it would be boring because a lot of times me just sitting there looking and thinking and trying stuff, and unfortunately I'm so embarrassed to admit this, some of it is trial by error. I spoke to a guru who shall remain nameless, who confessed to me, I'm like, dude, when you're as good as you are, do you have trial and error? He said, yeah, sometimes. He forgets how to do things and he has to try this and try that to see what's going on. It made me feel better because I always thought that was a sign of my newbiness, that if a real professional program would sit down and just know, like a master, just we're going to do this, and picture the whole thing in his head finished before he even wrote a line of code, that kind of thing. Anyway, so I don't think I'm going to stream it. It's just too, and also on top of the fact that it's boring, it slows things down. And for what purpose? I don't think people are interested. If they were, I don't know. It's an extra level of complexity. Again, it's not like we've got thousands and thousands of people following this thing. They're going to be watching it. So, what else? The Discord. I've kind of got off the Discord, to be honest with you. There's, I'm not even going to tell you the address. There's a whole bunch of people who don't play, and if you're not playing, then what's the point of that's the whole point of the Discord. I thought was to have a whole bunch of people there chatting about AGR, and I don't know, maybe a whole bunch of people into gaming that would just come across the Discord somehow, but no, a bunch of people joined, and the same people were playing, and I think a few played, and I'm not going to name names, but some of them, there's a few dicks, but a few, legit people there who I just loiter. What's the word? Not loiter. They lurkers, and it's fine, but I don't see the point. And also, I feel a bit that Discord is like this thing that potentially can kick you off and end. And I feel funny about that. I remember the Inside QC, inside3d.com, which was where I learned everything I did about coding and Quake-C, and it's gone. And to this day, it's like, oh God, for years and years, that was part of my daily routine, logging onto that site and reading and asking questions and checking follow-ups and helping out some newbies occasionally. And it's gone. It's just like, oh man, all those hours and hours and hours of brilliant commentary and notes and discussions, and it's just wiped out. I still don't know what happened with that site. To this day, it's kind of like, geez. And I just assumed when it went down that because these guys are brilliant. What are you doing? I just assumed that someone will take care of it and fix it, and I forgot what the actual problem is, but it's gone down, man. Changed to Inside QC at one point, but I miss it. I'm still miss it, and luckily I salvaged some of my tutorials from it. They're on attackersgored.com. Click on the technical section there, but I think I salvaged most of the good stuff that I ever wrote, as in stuff that is like a resource or something. But there's more, like heaps more there. Years and undiscovered things too. In spite of all the digging that I did and reading, occasionally because you certain things like you you weren't that interested or you didn't quite grasp, and then you'd get interested later, and then you'd search for different things and think, oh, I don't know, clients like Quake C, for example. I'm losing all the non-programmers. This programming thing, which at the beginning didn't know much about it, and I knew people were talking about it, but I was just like, oh yeah, whatever. But then years later, I've got some technical issue, and I look and do a search, and suddenly, boom, guess what? Yeah, people were talking about it. And anyway, the point I'm making is the fact that it's gone has really made me like, I don't want to put effort into stuff that, like Discord, putting an effort into long extended chats, and they're just going to be gone. I'm sentimental, man. And so that's why, what the hell? Too far 62. There's a sign that said too far 62. But this is an 80 zone. Why are you telling me that? Stupid signs distracting drivers, man. I spoke to someone else during the week. They were driving somewhere and they complained as well in Melbourne, Australia. There's just sign after sign. They keep changing 80 and 60 and 50 and 40 and 50 and 60 and... Just let me drive, you know what I mean? When you drive, you should be concentrating what? On the road. What's on the road? The cars in front. It's like busy bureaucrats trying to look busy and trying to justify their ridiculous pay packets by coming up with stuff. Anyway. There you go. That's about it. I might as well leave it there. I've got nothing else to say. The syringe is back. Did I conclude the last point? What was I saying? I forgot now. I got distracted. The Discord, how it's... and also, I want to make it so that I want to make it so that only players... If someone's interested in a player, get on the server. I'll send them a personal invite. They can join up and log on with their player name. Because I don't want to have conversations with... It's tough enough as it is. Not just tough. What's the word? Not tough. Discouraging. Turn off. Put off. It's off-putting as it is to have people who have nicknames, but then other nicknames on top of nicknames. It's just like, come on. And inevitably they're troublemakers and trolls, and so, yeah. So I want to make it ideally the Discord with, I'm picturing, if I continue with it, player names, and I mean the people that I know and recognise, the AGR players, and then the others. People who, there's a few out there who actually one or two. But most of the time, the rest of the people, I don't want to sound, whatever, but I don't really care what they think. I'm really not interested. There's zillions of people out there who've got a problem with AGL. I don't like this, I don't like that, and that's okay. And it's like a rock band, man. I'm AC/DC, and if you love AC/DC, then welcome, come in. I'll play you some AC/DC songs. If you prefer Metallica, then you're welcome to sit and listen to AC/DC. But I don't want to hear about why Metallica's better and AC/DC suck, and why can't we play Run to the Hills or whatever. I don't even know Metallica songs. Anyway, yeah. Okay. I hope you're having fun. I hope you're having a great week. Melbourne's in lockdown, by the way. Again, I'm driving. No, I'm not going to talk about the topic that everyone's sick of talking. I'm not going to talk about. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you're having fun, and I'll see you this week's weekly AGR session. Saturday, experimental stuff, crazy stuff. And Sunday, I promise, I've been a bit, not slack, non-strict. What's the word? I haven't been enforcing it, but I really try to keep Saturdays the experimental stuff, and Sundays crash-free, tried and tested. Saturday's the place for new stuff, and Sunday is the time for classic, tried and tested AGR with classic maps. Saturday is new maps and crazy stuff and unapologetic. So if the game crashes on Saturday, that's just how it goes. Don't hassle me. But if it crashes on Sunday, then yes, that shouldn't have happened. Something went wrong. All right, guys. That's it. Looking forward to action and mayhem and I'm gonna go before I have a car crash. All right, bye.